Who do you think has evolved for the worst?
I don't know. I think the obvious that comes top to mind because she's on my list to bring up is Colleen, because to watch someone take such an insane, I mean, honestly, here's the deal. And this goes into something deeper, right? Parasocial relationships and the relationships we form with the people that we see on our screen. And not everybody is Trish and or us, where we live honestly and authentically. And in this situation, we're consuming content from somebody who, at face value, on the surface, is one thing. But the reality of the situation is, like, there's a real monster and a severely ill person that is underneath.
Yeah, it's scary.
And to exist in a world where, like, that's being enabled by viewership and or, in taking in that person's content and commenting on it, liking it, supporting it in any way, without that person, like, managing it, seeking help, and then not involving minors and or it's dark and really, really wrong on the deepest of levels.
To me, I feel that way too. It's like, how are they not like deplatforming people who have like, it's proven that she's talking to people like underage because of her YouTube channel. I'm like, how is that like not taken away? You know what I mean? Like, it's bizarre. She just comes back. It's even more bizarre. Like, that's like, it's more than a sociopath. Like, you just come back like nothing happened. Like, that's wild to me. It wasn't jokes. It wasn't this. It's like proven. And it's like crazy. Like, how is she not embarrassed? Like, how is she not? I would like never show my face again.
But by the way, she's actually supporting the theory that everything we've seen of her was an act. Because no human being who's being a human being and going through what she's going through could just turn on a camera and be themselves with everything, all the noise.
No.
She has been playing a character. And I think ultimately, and yes, everybody knew Miranda Sings was a character, but did everybody know that Colleen was a character?
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like
deception.
Definitely. I mean, she was filming like Halloween. I mean, she's filming like the whole time. Like, her vlogs now are from like a couple months ago. So she's like filming the whole time still. Comes back in time for Vlogmas. It's like still putting her kids out there. I'm like,
I think family vlogs and that whole thing, like, one day maybe we live in a world where the government has enough resources where they can go and do quality checks on all these family vloggers to really understand what's going on. We don't live in that world, but there's a lot of pawns in that game, and I feel bad. I really feel bad.
They need to put restrictions on that, because that's like literally having your like children work from like an early age, and it's like every day, and it's like some of these vlogs. Dude,
wild. Where's the Coogan account for them, man? Like, where's a bunch of stuff? And at the end of the day, it's like, again, like, we thought she in particular, like, and that hurt me because she hurt you, and like I knew what that podcast meant to you.
Yeah.
But ultimately, things don't happen to us, they happen for us.
Yeah. That was a whirlwind this summer. And yeah, you're right. I mean, everything kind of led to like a better path, like weirdly. But it really did hurt us like on so many levels, because we financially set up that whole thing. Like, we paid for the set, and I paid for the editor. I paid for all the glams, all the costumes, like everything came out of our pockets. And like, the past couple of years, we definitely like struggled as far as like YouTube. Like, if it was just YouTube, we wouldn't have like made the bills, thank God for like OF and stuff. But we were definitely like struggling.
OF doing archive content, right? Like, it's not even new stuff.
Not even new stuff. So we were like lucky for that. And, it's not struggling, but like still it was like, we had taxes to pay, all that stuff like that. So it was like one of those things where we just like lost so much money, and it was just like we weren't in a position to like lose that money. And so it was just like a lot. And then for all of it to happen the way it did, and also just her lying, to be like in our house, like lying, just constantly saying like, oh, it's like, they do that. They send me pictures. They're the ones that are obsessed with you. Like, just all this weird stuff. It's such a mind like fuck, really. It really is. It's just like, why did you lie? What was the point? Because we weren't like super close friends. And I even gave her outs. I was like, if you said this stuff about me, like I've talked crap about people in the past, like it's fine. Like we should just address it or something. Oh no, I would never. They would send me weird pictures of you. And I thought that was weird. And it was just like so odd. And then when it came out and she like admitted, she, oh yeah, sorry, I was a coward. I was like, girl, what is wrong with you? It's a lot. It's still like a lot when I think about it. I'm like, God, that's like a scary person when you don't know. Like you really just don't know. I don't know. It was, but then did like start this whole podcast knowing she said, did all that stuff. I was like, that's a very weird thing.
And that, so many things are disturbing here, but the manipulation of so many people, minors and you included, like to think that you weren't manipulated would be really, we'd be blind to not think that, right? Like she clearly had disdain for you, was talking a ton of shit for you, about you,
Crazy.
but needed you for money and clout and used you financially to achieve it. And then, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was so shook by all of it. And then I was like, I thought mutually we could, like, you know, if we put up the money for the set and stuff, I'm like, okay, she'll help us get ads. And then, like, last minute, she was kind of like, oh, I don't want you to be with my company because, like, what if we get canceled because of you and they take away our ads from my podcast? And then, like, ironically, we get canceled because of her. I was just like, and so we didn't have ads. So then I came up with a company to find us ads right before all this shit went down. It was crazy. So literally she contributed nothing and just was she's very bizarre. She's very, like you said, just like maybe unwell. Like I think there's something actually wrong with her because like who just comes back like that? Who like lies like that? And then knowing they said that stuff, like to me, I would just come clean. I'd be like, fuck yeah. Like I did say that shit. Like, I don't know. It's like weird knowing that's out there. Like the whole thing's bizarre.
I'm a little out of loop. Has she reached out to you since all of this came out?
No, the last one was the apology after those like texts came out where it was visibly like it was her friend like holding my like porn next to his face. I was like, this is very clearly your friend doing this. Like, I mean, and who sends those photos? Like that's what I'm saying. That's like a really weird like unwell person. And she sent those photos like months after she gave birth. Like I was just like, what are you doing? Like you just gave birth and you're sending like naked photos of me to like these fans. Like it's. And they were like spread eagle ones, like very graphic ones. I'm like, did she just have like this whole folder on her phone of me? It was, the whole thing is scary because I was just like,
but then
who's this person?
Then to use you, like she didn't like disrespect you and like what you are so sad, sis. And
yeah,
a part of me is like, I wish you help. I wish you healing. But like, in order for me to really fully wish that to you, you need to make amends properly with those you've hurt. And for that, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what justice looks like there.
Well, that's what I said too. I was like, she apologized to me, which is like, fine. I guess it's closure enough. At least I know she's like a piece of shit person. She did it. She admitted to it. But it's like for her to not do that to these like very vocal people who have evidence of her also being inappropriate with them. I was just like, you know, like Adam, like she had lunch with him at 15 years old in like Dublin and like all this like weird stuff. I was just like, how are you like not apologizing to like that person? She like never said, to me, that's like what's weird. It's like, you can't just come back. She said she's talking to a therapist now and the therapist told me to go back to vlogging. I'm like, there's no way the therapist told you to go back to vlogging. That's not a thing a therapist would say if this is causing you stress.
The therapist was like, oh, how do I keep getting paid? She goes back to vlogging and even if it's a train wreck, people are going to watch and she's going to litter it with AdSense.
Then she has, yeah. And
dude, yeah.
I know. It's all very, very gross. I mean, she really is the most like disturbed person on the internet. I can't believe she came back so fast and I can't believe she's not like so ashamed. Like it's bizarre.
And I'm going to be honest, like she kind of always been like, she's always rubbed me the wrong way and I've known her many moons and she's never been on our show ever. I've just known her like in social situations and she's just always been she's just definitely jealous, conniving, wrong. Like just like
I didn't know that side at all. Like I said, we kind of talked as soon as I gave birth and she was like a mommy vlogger. So I was like, okay, I'll like be friends with her because her kids or whatever. And we'd go to like her birthday parties for her kids. So like that's all I knew. I didn't know that side of her.
What do we learn from this? That things happen not to us but for us.
Okay, that's a great. You're so wise. That is true. That's very true.
I mean that like you take away like don't trust people, but ultimately like that only hurts you, right? And like
definitely.
And I'm sure you see signs in human beings now from dealing with her that you can now apply as you bring new people into your life.
I don't know, man.
Forward.
I missed them so much. Like sometimes you're just like, how did I miss that? You know what I mean? Like I just missed the whole her being canceled. Everything. Like I didn't know there was drama. To me, I thought, oh, she's like this wholesome YouTuber that no one has any issues with. So I had no idea. So I miss signs very clearly from so many things. So I really don't have like friends for that reason in general. Like I just don't keep in contact with people like just because I don't really like people close to me in general for that reason. And then like stuff like that always happens. I'm like, I just trust the wrong people, but I keep everyone at a distance anyways. And now I really just like.
Yeah, now you do it even more.
Yeah.